Unveiling the latest raft of sanctions, the US also cited sensational claims made last year of Russia offering bounties to the Taliban on US troops in Afghanistan. The White House admits it has very little to back up those claims, yet still it demands answers from the Kremlin.
We felt the reports were enough of a cause of concern. They assessed with low to moderate confidence, as you alluded to, that Russian intelligence officers sought to encourage Taliban attacks against U.S. and coalition personnel in Afghanistan. So while there's low to moderate assessment of these reports, we felt it was important for our intelligence community to look into it. This information really puts the burden on Russia and the Russian government to explain their engagement here.
In June last year, it was reported Russian intelligence offered Taliban-linked militants bounties to kill US troops in Afghanistan in 2019. The allegations were never proven, and the Pentagon itself said that it could not corroborate the reports. But it didn't stop the mainstream media from going to town on the story.
Vladimir Putin is offering bounties for the scalps of American soldiers in Afghanistan.
Now, the European intelligence official called this callous, shocking, and reprehensible.
Overnight, President Trump dismissed the intelligence, denied being briefed on it, as new reports emerged saying those payments did in fact lead to the death of Americans.
Hey, Shalom, Yashra'Allah. I'd like to begin by saying I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, whom I worship. And double honors to my other apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth and who rule well. Salutations be to the hopeful elect of Yasharallah who are in the faith, doing the work so that they may receive their crowns of salvation. Salutations be to the great cloud of witnesses of Yasharallah out there who are, believing in the true doctrine and name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. May the Lord grant them salvation. So as you can see, for the past 2 to 3 days, there's been high tensions, between the U.S., which is Babylon, Babylon the Great, and Russia, which is Magog in the scriptures, in the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible. They are known as Magog. And these are two key figures that that will be involved in the Third World War. All right. This is something is happening. Things been happening underground for the longest between Russia and the U.S. But definitely something has happened, and even Biden did a speech, I think yesterday, where he calls for tensions to de-escalate between Russia and the U.S. So something is happening. It's something to keep an eye on, and we also got to keep an eye on what's happening with Iran, because Iran, they are raising up, or they raised up their nuclear uranium enrichment, to about 60%. Despite the U.S. telling them not to and all this stuff. So Iran just don't give a damn, So there's definitely tensions in the Middle East. Tensions are rising between the U.S. and Russia, and it's something to keep an eye on, man. Definitely. So let's get some scriptures, man, some prophecy. All right. So keep your eye open. Watch. We are very close. So anything could pop off at any given time, But the main thing to keep your eye out on is this right here, man. The tensions between Babylon the Great and Magog. All right. So shalom. Okay, so this is Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Ezekiel the 38th chapter and the 39th chapter, man, you can't read enough of it, because it's pure prophecy of what the Lord's going to do in these last days. So Ezekiel 38 verse 1, and I'm going to try to read fast because, I'm at work on the plantation, man. Don't have too much time. I'm on break. So Ezekiel 38 verse 1, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog," that's Russia, the land of Magog, okay? Magog. Magog is Russia, okay? It says the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Meshech and Tubal would be Turkey, modern day, what is known as modern day Turkey, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back. Gog and Magog is the same thing, Russia. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Right, the Lord's going to turn them back to the communist ways of government, you know, because right now they're practicing more of a democratic type of way, you know. So the Lord's going to turn them back into their old ways of how they used to be, you know. Russia, as the other Apostle Tahar and the apostles have brought out many a times, is not a part of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. As a matter of fact, NATO, one of the reasons why NATO was created was to create this union so that they could protect themselves against Russia. All right? So Russia is not a part of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns that you read about. All right? The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, that represents NATO, the NATO nations, all right, the EU nations, and America riding upon the beast, the scarlet colored beast, which is the red beast, because Esau is red. And I will verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Yeah, why? Why are they gonna be wearing all this military equipment? Handling swords, meaning weapons, yeah, right? Why are they gonna have these things? Why are they gonna be prepared for this? Because they're getting ready for the great war to come, the last war, the Third World War. And these are the nations that are going to be involved. Persia, the Persians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them. And Russia's going to be a guard unto all these nations. So I'm going to stop there at Ezekiel 38 verse 7. See if the Spirit, could lead me into making a part 2 to this. But definitely, let's see what the day plays out with this situation. Keep your eye open, because this is prophecy. So the nations are getting ready. The nations are getting ready for this last war, and it's the Most High that's bringing them together. All right. So with that, I'm gonna close this out. This is just I'm just doing the job of a watchman. And that's what we're all to do. Watch to see what the prophecies roll out right before our eyes. All right. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom.